Hello fellow tankers, this is Dauntless, and for this episode of Beginner's Guide, I wanted to go over how to better equip your vehicle for battle. Whenever you purchase a vehicle in-game, it's not going to be equipped with any equipment, ammunition, or consumables, and I thought this would be a good chance to show you guys how you can do that, as well as explain a little bit about the different kinds of ammo, consumables, as well as equipment. So the first thing you're going to want to do is hit this service tab here. This service tab will show you three different categories: repairs, ammunition, and consumables. So the first tab is pretty straightforward. Repairs, this bar right here represents how much HP that your vehicle has left on it after a match, and in order to go back into the next game it has to be at 100%. So I would check this box right here, and this will allow the vehicle to be restored to working order every time you get out of the battle for a price. The second tab down is ammunition. Now these three ammo types that you can carry into the game are tied to your 1 key, your 2 key, and your 3 key. And anytime you're in a game, you can double tap that key that the bullet type is tied to and switch to it, or alternatively, hit that button once, and after you're done firing your gun, your tank will reload on its next round that type of ammo that you have selected. So there are 4 primary types of ammo in the game. There are some odd ones, but I'm not going to get into them for this guide. AP, which is your jack of all trades round. It's kind of the standard round for most vehicles, and it's going to be your cheapest round, and it's going to be kind of your go-to round. For the most part, you're going to be shooting a lot of AP, and there are really no gimmicks to it. You know, it's going to do what you expect it to do. There are 2 types of premium ammo that you can get in general: APCR, which is shown here, and then also heat rounds. These rounds are going to be very expensive, usually anywhere from 4 to, I don't know, in this case, how many times that is, 20 times more expensive than your standard ammo. So you do want to be cautious when you shoot this so you don't bleed too many credits. Unless you're in a premium vehicle, then you can spam away and usually you'll still make a profit. But APCR boasts higher penetration than AP, as well as very, very good shell velocity, meaning that the bullet's going to travel from point A to point B very quickly, and that is really helpful for when you're shooting vehicles that are far away, that are on the move. You won't have to lead the vehicles as much. Unfortunately, APCR's one downside is the fact that it loses more penetration over distance than AP does, meaning that if you're shooting at a very, very far distance enemy, let's say 500 meters, you might have a better chance of penetrating them with AP than with APCR. Heat ammunition doesn't lose any penetration over distance, which is awesome for sniping at far range. It has similar velocity to AP, and it also boasts very, very high penetration. It actually has the highest penetration when compared to any other round in the game. The downside to heat, however, is the fact that if it hits any module, such as a track or spaced armor, it's going to do 0 damage. Heat is also not very good against well-angled armor, and you're going to have a hard time. The shell is going to explode and kind of deflect off if you try to shoot, let's say, the upper plate of an IS-7 when he's looking right at you. But it's very effective for punching through really thick, flat armor. So if you have the front of an E100 and his turret is facing you, the heat is going to blast its way right through that thick cheek versus AP or APCR. The last category here that you'll see is HE, or high explosive. High explosive is a shell that you'll see in the game that does very, very low penetration, or it has very low penetration, but it boasts higher average damage than all the other rounds. HE ammo is good to have in your garage, or I'm sorry, in your vehicle, because when you're on the battlefield and let's say you're in a situation where you're having a really hard time penetrating something, you can just start spamming HE at its track and keep it in place, because it does have higher alpha damage and it does do a lot of critical damage. You'll be able to immobilize your enemies if you're playing in that way. And the other advantage to having HE is when the enemies are capturing your base, all you need to do is hit 1 HP of damage or hurt a critical hit any module, and you will be able to reset that cap. So loading HE when you're going back to reset is a good idea, because usually you can hit the vehicle anywhere and you'll be able to reset the cap. In general, I try to load about 75% AP, or my standard rounds, about 20% gold rounds, and maybe 5% HE. Now this will vary depending on the vehicle that you're in and how many rounds it can carry. As a rule of thumb, I usually carry more premium ammo in my light vehicles, only because light vehicles have +3 matchmaking, meaning on average it's going to see higher tier vehicles than other classes in the game. And because of that, when you need to penetrate a target, it's really nice to have that extra punch with your gold rounds. And the last one down is consumables. Consumables are items that you can use in the game that can give you temporary aid depending on what has happened to your tank. For example, the manual fire extinguisher will allow you to put out an engine fire that your vehicle is experiencing. Small repair kit will allow you to fix one module that has been damaged or destroyed. And the small first aid kit will allow you to heal or bring back one crew member that has been knocked out. These are the three main types that you're going to want to use at the beginning. Unless you're really competitive and you have a lot of credits to spare, these are the ones that you're going to want to use, and in this particular order. These are going to be tied to your 4, 5, and 6 key, and the reason I have it tied to these keys in this specific order is for this reason. 4 is closest to your index finger when you're driving. This allows you to put out a fire very, very quickly versus if you had it on the 6 key. When your vehicle is on fire, you can take damage very rapidly, as well as lose crew members and lose modules in your vehicle. So it's very, very important that you knock out that fire as quickly as possible. So that's why I have the manual fire extinguisher on 4. The small repair kit you're going to want to put on the 5 key. And this is because whenever you use a small repair kit, when you hit that 5 key, a menu is going to pop up, and there's going to be numbers anywhere between, I think, 1 and 6 with all the different modules in your vehicle, for example, the engine or the tracks. Well, it so happens that tracks are 5, or tied to the 5 key to fix. This means that when you're in a situation and you get tracked out in the open and you want to relocate as quickly as possible because people are shooting at you or artillery have you tracked, you can hit the 5 key twice and it'll automatically repair your tracks. This is really critical, as the tracks being immobilized is probably the worst situation you can be in when you're in the open, and so it is important to get that track fixed as soon as possible. And I have the small repair kit down here at the bottom because it's not super important. There's no crew member that can get knocked out that's going to really affect the gameplay in those few seconds that it happens. So that's why I have it tied to the 6 key. Now there are other types of consumables that you can get in the game. There's a large repair kit, the large first aid kit, as well as the automatic fire extinguisher. These all act very similar to the manual ones in the small repair kit and first aid kit. The only difference is that the large repair kit and the large first aid kit will heal all your crew and all your modules when you use it versus just the one for this. But again, if you use it, you use it. So let's say your tracks get damaged and you end up using this, well, that means you just wasted 20,000 to fix your tracks versus 3,000 for the small repair kit. But if you're in a situation when you're in a paper vehicle and you get like 4 things knocked out at once because you get hit by artillery, having this might be beneficial. Alternatively, if you're playing a tank that's paper, like the Leopard 1 that gets ammo racked every single time you take it out, sometimes it is good to replace either your fire extinguisher or your first aid kit with another large repair kit, allowing you to have 2 opportunities to fix that ammo rack versus just the one. Down below the fire extinguisher, this can be really good to have because it does reduce the chance of fire by 10%, while the manual has no chance of reducing a fire. So it is sometimes effective to have the automatic fire extinguisher, especially in your high tier vehicles if you're a competitive player like I am. And Wargaming does give you a lot of these for events and different contests and stuff like that, and I end up accumulating a lot of these, so I do end up keeping them instead of selling them. Quality oil, this is something I would avoid using, as well as the remove speed governor. Both of these are not as important as these tools that you see before you. And then there's also the premium consumable improved combat rations, which is again very expensive, but if you buy them on sale, sometimes they can be worth replacing your fire extinguisher or your first aid kit for, and this will give you a 10% boost to all your crew members. Again, I wouldn't bother wasting money on this unless you're really, really trying to get that 3rd mark or playing in a very competitive game mode. I have personally never used improved combat rations, and I don't think I ever will, but that is completely up to you. And the last thing I wanted to cover really quickly is the equipment that you can have on your vehicle. The equipment that you have per tank varies to some extent, But for the most part, the two things that you're going to want to have on any vehicle, in my personal opinion, is a gun rammer and coated optics. Coated optics will boost any vehicle's view range by 10%, giving it an advantage over any other vehicle in the game that's similar to your class that is not equipping coated optics. This means that if you're in a tier 10 heavy tank and you have 400 meters of view range and you put this baby on, you're going to suddenly have 440. You're going to gain 40 meters view range over your enemies, and in that space you can be shooting them and they won't be able to see you, and I think that's a pretty good advantage to have. A gun rammer, this will increase your DPM by 10%, meaning you can reload that much faster, and it's a must for any vehicle. It can be a little bit expensive, but if you have to choose when you're buying these because you're low on credits, I would definitely pick up the gun laying drive first. Not the gun laying drive, the rammer first. And then the last slot for most of my vehicles, if they can equip it, is vertical stabilizers. Now this vehicle can't equip vertical stabilizers because vertical stabilizers is more of a high tier thing, but if your vehicle can't equip vertical stabilizers, I would definitely do that. Vertical stabilizers will decrease your reticle size by 25% when you're on the move or when you're turning your turret. And this is pretty good for when you're making shots on the move or trying to make those quick snapshots without having to wait for that aim time. If your vehicle can't equip vertical stabilizers, the alternative is to mount an enhanced gun laying drive. The gun laying drive gives you 10% to your aiming speed, but again, it's just not good as having that already smaller reticle that you don't have to wait for the aim time to go through. I know a lot of people will switch out this optic slot for the improved ventilation, which gives you a 10% boost to everything that your crew can do, but I think a 10% increase in your view range is superior to 5% to your crew, personally. Alternatively, if you are driving in an SPG or a tank destroyer, you can swap out the optics for binoculars because it gives you a 25% view range boost when your vehicle is stationary for more than 10 seconds. And in tank destroyers, you're going to be sitting still a lot, so it can be beneficial to have the view range boost with the binoculars over the optics. You can also replace vertical stabilizers with a camo net, depending on your playstyle as well, especially if you're in a tank destroyer or in an artillery. Having this will reduce the chance of you getting lit by enemies by 25%, I believe, and that can be activated if you sit still for more than 5 seconds, which goes along quite nicely with the binoculars. If you're playing in a light vehicle and you don't want to, or you don't really care about having better shooting on the move, you can swap out the vertical stabilizer for binoculars and have that much more vision on enemies to get that good assist damage. And one little tip I'll throw in as a bonus is if you hit this exterior button, you can purchase camouflage for your vehicle. You can buy unlimited, meaning it will last forever for a small gold price, as well as 30-day and 7-day for silver. This is beneficial, especially for light tanks, because it does give you that 3% extra camouflage per vehicle. And this is awesome for being able to be really sneaky, and I think that it's worth the money. Plus, it just makes your tank look that much sexier. So anyway guys, hopefully you found this guide useful. If you did, I would appreciate it if you'd give it a thumbs up below. And if you go ahead and subscribe to my channel, I'll be able to keep you guys updated for more guides like this in the future. So anyway, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys later.